Alright, good morning guys. I am already in a trade here. I happened to catch SINT as it was coming out with this PR. And I got in back here at the break of this flag down here on the 1 minute at 176. So I'm currently holding through this consolidation to see what it's going to do. It's got PR. And we are flagging on the 5 minute as well. Hasn't had a ton of volume yet, but the PR just came out at 8. And it's almost had 1 million since the PR came out, 100,000. It's been getting held up at 185 quite a bit, but it did break over on this candle again. So I don't know, we'll see what happens from here. I got 2.5 minutes before market open. I didn't see a whole lot else going on when I was doing my scans. So maybe volume will come into this, or more volume. And currently now it does have a lot of resistance in the area it's at. The 50 days at 189. You see that's where it hit pre-market high is 190, and then 200 days at 203. But if it breaks over 203, it's got some room to move after that. So we'll see what happens here at market open with this. If volume rushes in and pushes it up, or if it just sells off and that's it. This is a pretty low float stock, so it can move. We got 58 seconds. I just got my finger on the sell in case it starts dumping here before market open, because I'd have to sell it as a limit order. Needs more volume to come in to push it up through these areas, though. It's just been consolidating. Alright, so market's getting ready to open in 10 seconds. Let's switch this back to day. Alright, let's see what happens here at market open. And 180 was holding up as support, so if 180 starts cracking, I'll probably get out and just take a small little win on this, which looks like maybe what's going to happen here. Yeah, 180 just cracked. Should I give it half a second? But it looks like it's going to sell off. Oh yeah, it's starting to sell off, so I'm going to have to get out of this. 175 trying to hold up as some support at 9. 74. I think I might just put a stop loss in at like 173. Actually, I'll put a stop loss in at 172. If it drops below that, it drops below that. That'll be it. Well, 175 is trying to hold up. Let's see what else is going on. WKHS over 20. See, make sure I'm not missing anything. PSV with a lot of volume. Gas with some volume. Let's check. Merit with some volume. Riot as well with some volume. So Bitcoin must be moving. See, ADTX. Some of this stuff with news. VUZI. Merit selling off. TSRI. It's a very low float stock. On a downtrend. No PR though. Okay, Riot and Merit selling off. I'm gonna take those off. Ooh, this got halted. Vera Bradley shooting straight up out of pre-market for a halt. NMVC, nothing really there. ADTX. BRQS popping up here. A possible U-shape on this. It's gonna hang up at the 50-day. Partnership. They have a partnership, so there might be something there. VUZI popping a little bit with some late PR, but VUZI can move. If this breaks $4, so there's a couple of different possible plays. This has got an interesting daily chart. Let's see. Oh no, that's way down there. Take that off. SINC still, yeah, I'm in SINC. I got in at 176. I'm back in pre-market back here. So I just have a stop loss in like 172. Trying to see if 175 is going to hold up, but it doesn't look like it. It looks pretty bad right now. Looks like it's going to sell off. Yeah, there. So that just sold off. So I got stopped out there. That's fine. Let's see. BRQS though. Good morning. Call sign soup. BRQS popping. I feel like I missed it though. Missed the. Let's see, 100 days at 146. So it definitely has some attention back in the small cap world. I'm good. How are you? I may go on VUZIX here. It doesn't have a lot of volume yet, but this PR just came out a little while ago. And if it breaks $4, see 411, then it's got room to run. And I'm looking forward to start testing 395 again. BRQS is still running. I'm going. Starting to test 395. If it gets over 395 here, I think it's going to break. Let's see. 389. Starting to test here. Still needs to get over 4 and 411 to really start moving, but this is the break of the downtrend here. So testing 4. Getting some decent buying coming in. Breaking over 4. Starting to get a little frisky here. The 405. Ooh, big quick pullback. That was a quick pullback. Hit 405 and right back down. Oops. So still struggling here. Maybe put a stop loss in just to be safe on this. Because that was a very quick pullback. Started popping and then got pushed right back down. Let's see, 389. Let's put a stop loss in for now. Let's see if this can get going or not. You can see $4 holding up as resistance. Got some sellers sitting there. We did break it pretty quickly the first time. If we can break it again pretty quickly, that'll be some good strength. Yeah, BRQS had a nice run out the gate. VUZI pulling back hard here. Oof, it's coming real close to my stop loss. So this $4 is really holding up tough. So I may end up taking another loss here. You can see too, the top of this downtrend is right there. Let's remove some of these lines. I got so many lines on this chart. Remove. Man, damn. So I got faked out there. Got me with a little fake out breakout. Quick pop, and that's all I had, I guess. MVUZI, you got me. Let's see. So BRQS. Oops. On this current downtrend right now. Got to get back over 130. BRQS can move. But it is going to run into 146 resistance. Where's the pre-market at? Pre-market has at 122. It hasn't quite got down that low yet. I got PSV on my watch list, but I don't know about that. BRQS has got some attention and it's consolidating right now. I'm gonna go starting to push up here. See if I can get over 135 though. So what I get filled? 131. See if we push for a new high a day. 138's the high. We're getting real close to it. going all over the place now. Couldn't break a new high. Maybe another loss here if this doesn't start acting right here. We'll see. It's still consolidating. It's in this flag right now is what it's looking like. It's making a flag as long as it stays above 130. It's still alive to keep going. A minute and a half on this 5-minute candle. Don't drop too much lower. So the consolidation breaking down as well here. Just nothing breaking out. And VUZI is back at 4. VUZI might try to run anyway. Let's see, 171. There we go. So the 50 days at 120, so there's should be plenty of support at 120. So I'm gonna try to hold it as long as 120 holds and see if it just keeps consolidating. AMTX is moving again today. Ooh, a big buyer just came in there at 126. About 70,000 shares. 75,000 shares. Just upped his order. This might start moving now. Unless he gets taken out. Nobody's jumping in ahead of him. So that's not good if he gets taken out here. So a lot of selling pressure on this at the moment. 120 starts cracking. See the 9's at 118. Let's see if buyers try to hold up 120. Yeah, okay. Buyers are trying to hold up that 120 area, so as long as that holds up, I'm good. I'll hold it. Sounds like there's too many stocks right now trying to do stuff. Might have volume spread out amongst the small cap world. There's that many different things with possibilities. BRQS is a past ripper, so it definitely can rip. It's not really the way I'd want to do this downtrend, but that's kind of the way it looks. And so it needs to break back over this downtrend. It needs to get back over 128 on the next candle or on this candle, one of the two. Gotta hold up 120. It's a good amount of buyers at 121 though. This 5 minutes fixing to close. Only close over 120. $125 acting as some resistance. Need some more buying volume to come in. It's been all selling volume. Very little buying volume. We need to see some more buyers. UXVY. Isn't UXVY a ETF or something? UVXY. TSRI trying to break the downtrend right here. It could possibly get moving. SINT's done. Whoa, BRQS just blew through all them sellers. I might have to get out here. Getting real weak. Let's see if this 9 holds up. line's really starting to crack here. See, it's got like 20 something seconds to close. If it can get back 120, it's still back above 120 on this candle. It's still alive. It doesn't. It's trying to. 7 seconds for it to get back above 120. So this is going to be sketchy either way. So close right at 120. This is either going to dump off hard here or it's going to start pushing its way back up. That was a test of the 9. And it's starting to test this downtrend now. Needs to break over this downtrend. Needs to get back over 125 to show a little bit of strength. Oh yeah, so UVXY is one of the basically inverse ETF. SPY is going pretty. Let's see, SPY did drop a little bit, but I mean overall the SPY's been going pretty hard. So I don't know. UVXY might be a little risky. I don't know if I want to bet against the market right at the current moment, even though Tesla and Apple are going down. You can't win in PDT? What do you mean? PDT, the PDT rule is affecting. There you go. Start popping over this downtrend. Five losses in a row. Are you at least keeping them, the losses real small? BRQS needs to break over this downtrend sooner. It's gonna dump. Need new buyers. We need buyers coming in. Well, that's good. Your options are doing well. Let me get through this trade, and then we'll discuss and see if we can't figure out where you're having issues at. Yeah, 30 seconds. On this candle to close, it does not need to drop any lower. This is going to be a dumpski. Is that by 116? So far as 5 candles in a row, 5 red candles in a row on this. That's a bad open right there. This needs to immediately come up. 116. See, where's that candle at top at? 112. I don't know if I'd want to hold this down that far. Yeah, then I'm going to put a stop loss in at 113 just in case it starts dumping. Let's go through here. PSV. Nothing there. Workhorse coming back down. VRA. So Vera Bradley possibly maybe starting to break downtrend. UZI nothing. ADTX still slowly creeping, but nothing. Possibly a U shape there if it breaks 250 or whatever. Oh, let's see. BRQS is testing that little bottom support of that 116 area. Yeah, it looks like BRQS is going to dump here. If it can't hold up 115. That's 6. This would be 6 red candles in a row. It's a bit of a fake out day today in the small cap world. BXRX. Very little volume, but looking like it's trying to make an upward movement. AMC got a quick pop but dropping off. Is the SPY still dropping? Oh yeah, the SPY is still dumping. Well, not dumping, but it's dropping. Rocket pushed all the way up to 34. Nice little gap up today. Looks like BRQS may dump here. Got a minute. 115 starting to crack. Yeah, this is about to dump. I don't know, maybe not. The selling volume has went down. Oh, it depends on if 115 holds here. It's getting real sketchy. See if buying's going to finally come back in this now that we've had 6 red candles in a row. The candles have gotten smaller and smaller and smaller and tighter. So the selling should be done if it's not going to dump here. But it's kind of get back over this downtrend. Oh wow. Thanks for that. That's pretty cool. Thanks for that tip there. Not sure what that's for, but that's cool. It's pretty much the loss I'm gonna take on this if it dumps here. This is BRQS. BRQS kind of got me in a fake out where it looked like it was going to re-break out on this candle here and push for a new high a day, and then it didn't. Stopped short, and then it's been selling off. I'm just kind of holding on for dear life here at this bottom 115 support. There's no buyers coming back in. Like, there's some point. You normally see them start to come back in after the candles tightening up like this, but they're not really coming back in at the moment. candle is dojiing a little bit. Hold on a second, guys. I'll be right back. I got a phone call. Give me a couple minutes. Okay, alright. Visa is starting to come. What I think about finding the dip and rip everyone talks about. I mean, you can. The only problem is buying the dip. Like, just like on BRQS here. Which, I mean, you run into this problem with any strategy you use. But if you buy the dip here at like 116 and then it doesn't rip, it's going to dump off hard. That's why I usually like to buy at like right before breakouts. I like to kind of buy coming into the upward momentum. But the same problem happens because I just got, the same thing just happened to me buying up here on this in this candle, and of course it come back down. So I mean, you can do that. But all these strategies depend on market conditions. Everything depends on what things are, how the market is acting. And the small caps and the penny stocks, they act different than the rest of the market. I mean, we've seen, Tesla go on a crazy run Monday, and yesterday it was kind of like, back and forth. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Call sign, call sign said it right. It can keep dipping and dipping. It's hard. It's hard to get the bottom. But yeah, that's what I was saying. I like to kind of get in the momentum pushing up. Because this still, I mean, this still could sell off, even though it broke this downtrend right here. It's running right into the 9 EMA right now and still getting held up. We're going to have to see more buying volume come in to push this up. So even buying now is still a little sketchy. I see there's a big seller sitting at 119, and we've not had any buying volume. This one candle here is the first buying volume we really had, and it is not very much. Yep. Yep. Exactly. They can do anything at any time. Like I've said before, it only takes one person to ruin your day on a stock. One day trader in the pit can come in and drop a bunch of money on a short and crash a stock at any time. So all it takes is one person to ruin your day. So that's why the key is not so much trying to figure out what strategy is the best. The key is to try to get the best entries at the strategy and keep your losses as tight as possible, because breakouts don't always happen. Today's been a perfect example of where breakouts can start happening. Like VUZI looked like it was going to break out, and then it just immediately dumped right as it hit 405. And BRQS, same thing. Yeah, BRQ, man, this really needs some buying volume to come in and get this back over the 9, like this candle, or this is gonna dump. So that's the most important thing, keeping your losses real tight. Try to get the best entry possible for your strategy and keep your losses extremely tight. Well, I'm not going to say extremely tight, but keep them pretty tight to where you're not risking that much. Yeah. I try to keep my stop loss. I try to keep a 2-to-1 ratio. So I don't really do a percentage. I do it more of a 2-to-1 ratio. Like on this, I got in at 132, and if it broke the high a day at 138, it could have possibly ran. That's what I was expecting it to run and test this 100-day moving average at that area there. So, but I've actually held this longer than I actually want to. So right now I'm kind of on a 1-to-1 ratio, which is not good. But like I map out my price target, my first price target, and then map out what my price, like what would be 2-to-1 on my price target. So my price target on this was 146 at the 100-day, which I probably would have said 150, because I don't think it would have held. If it got all the way up there, I don't think it would have held the whole time. I think it would at least broke for a second up to 150, and then maybe came back down. Oh, see, I started dumping. I got stopped out. So my stop loss on this would have been like 124. So I risked like 6 or 7 cents to try to make, 12 to 20 cents. But I held way too long on this. I was trying to give it a chance because the only reason I held through longer than what my ratio would have been was because this 200 day was right here at 120, and it held up here and it held up here, so I was expecting it to hold up again there at 120, but it didn't. It's dumping. But like on VUZI, I was expecting, my price target would have been, this 430 area would have been tough. And then I got out pretty quick. So I was going for about, I don't know, what did I get in? I can't remember. It's like, what did I get in? 395 or something? So I was expecting about 35 cents on this, and I only risked 9 cents, 10 cents on it. So that was a 3-to-1 ratio on VUZI. $1 to 2% is ultra safe for sure. You're definitely gonna get stopped out probably more often than not. Like you'll probably get, cause if you're trying to go 1 to 2%, you're gonna have to be using stop loss orders, because it's gonna be real hard to hit 1 or 2% on market selling. So most likely, you're going to get hit a lot, because these wicks, like of most stocks, these wicks just drop real quick and will pop right back up. And that's why most of the time I try to use market orders to kind of wait and give it a chance to see if it's going to pop right back up or not. But that's why I like 2-to-1 ratio. At least 2-to-1. Like if I see if I've got possible 30 cents in profit, then I'm willing to risk about 15 cents. So I mean, as long as you're consistently doing 2-to-1 and you win, half the time, you'll be profitable. But the better setups are 3-to-1, 4-to-1. We just haven't had many of those setups lately. And see, like on SINT, I didn't risk very much. Like I was expecting SINT to at least try to test $2, and I got in at 176, so that's 24 cents, and I risked 5 cents. So that's a 4-to-1 ratio. This was a pretty good setup. It just failed to break out. And like I said, VUZI was about a 3-to-1 ratio. BRQS was 2-to-1. Not the best setup. But it did look like it was going to break out. Let's see what's up. Let's see what's up with AMTX. Oh yeah, AMTX. And this little triangle here. You don't really need the bottom of the triangle though, because the 9's doing it. If it breaks over 215, there might be something on this. Let's see, where would your price target be? Let's see what happened. What was yesterday's resistance? So if it does break 215, 220 is going to be some pretty good resistance there. And then 235. So for example, on this, if I was going to trade this possible break of this triangle, 220 would definitely be tough, but my price target on it would probably be the second resistance line of 235. So if I got in 215, that'd be 20 cents for the price target, and then the 9 is at 210. So I probably have my stop loss right, and actually the top of this candle is at 2.8, so I probably have my stop loss like at 207. So that'd be about 8 cents, 8 to 9 cents I would risk there for 20 cents. So that'd be like a little bit over 2 to 1. Actually, this is actually a pretty big triangle. Now that I'm looking back here. But you really, another thing though is on these downtrend breaks and any break, a U-shaped break, whatever breakout you're looking at, you really don't want resistance right ahead of the breakout. Like if the breakout's here at 215 and then you got resistance at 220, that's not the best setup in the world. Because if it breaks out, hits 220 and drops back down, then you just don't. There's not a ton of room for it to move out of that breakout. So it's a decent setup right now, but it's not the best setup. And that kind of was the issue on VUZI. Well, actually, I don't know why 405 held up as resistance on this. Just kind of $4, I guess, was the resistance, but oh, look at there. ADTX did break out of this little U shape here. Hasn't moved very much, but it did break out. On AMTX, is that what you're talking about? The break at 225 would confirm the upward trend. Yeah, I mean there is some resistance at 225 as well. But like I said, even if it breaks 220 and 225, it's still gonna have resistance at 235 because you can see the top of the candle, these two candles back here. This one hit here, this one hit here, and then a couple of them held up there. So you're gonna have resistance at 225, 235, 220, 225, 235, and then if it breaks that, 250. And 250 is going to be real tough resistance. But now it's kind of starting to curl over. You can see how it's running into this and it's starting to curl over. So if this doesn't break very soon, this is not going to break. It's going to curl over and keep selling off. It's that bent fishing rod, like I like to call it. Like that's what's kind of starting. So it'd have to break real soon if it's going to break. If not, it's just going to sell back off. Well, that's smart that you're not listening to people trying to take your money. Because anybody trying to take your money is going to, you know how it goes. You know. That's why you're not listening to them. Oh, VUZI here coming back up. Getting close to that $4. Slowly being bought up. Yeah. But yeah, another thing is very little volume currently on AMTX. Like you really need to see increasing volume into this breakout, and right now it's decreasing volume into the breakout. So it very easily could pull back here. And see PSV. See PSV, when you were saying that they were saying 105 would be a breakout, this 200-day moving average is there. 200-day moving average is always going to be pretty tough resistance because it's averaging the prices over 200 days, and it usually acts as pretty strong resistance. Very, very seldom do stocks break over that. You can see the one time PSV broke over it right here, it came right back down. It did break here, got a nice move, but a day later, or 2 days later, it was right back under the 200, and then now it's testing the 200 again these last couple of days, but broke over here, pushed right back down, broke over there, pushed right back down, and now it's testing again today, but or it did test again today, but it wasn't strong enough to break. Let's see, VRA. Yeah. Yeah, I could see where they were getting it for a couple of days, but today is a little off today as far as small caps. I mean, small caps have some volume, but they're just not getting any breakouts. It seems like volume is like pretty spread out. NMBC did make a nice little pop. Still, NMVC is pretty low float, and it hasn't moved that much. I mean, it's moved what? About 80 cents. Oh yeah, no, that's what this is for. This is what this community is for. It's for discussing and talking things out. You know, I don't want anybody buying stocks because I'm buying stocks or selling them. You know, I want everybody making their own decisions, and there's always room for discussion. It's always a learning game. I'm always still learning. Like, I've been doing it for 6 years now, and I'm still learning. But the point is to stay in the game. That's why it's so important to keep your losses tight. Stay in the game and keep working on consistency, because that's the key to it. There's no I'm in Wisconsin. There's no strategy that's going to work 100% of the time. There's just not. There's not even a strategy that's probably going to work 80% of the time. You're kind of like 80% would be really pushing it, and I just don't see that being a possible win percentage on a strategy. So the key is the consistency. That's how you stick around in this game, is you stay consistent, continually get more and more consistent. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. He played for. I got family all through North Carolina, but that's cool. He played for Green Bay. That sounds familiar. I'm not originally from Wisconsin. I've only been up here for a couple of years.
So that name sounds familiar, but I've not really been a Green Bay fan. Oh God, yeah, your grandpa's huge, man. He's a monster. Go through here and look. See, Blue Apron getting a little action today. What in the nonsense is this? 72,000 in volume. There's no way you could have predicted this weird, freaky rip. One Life DB, how y'all doing today? Let's see, Vera's starting to break up here. VIR starts breaking over 7. Could be some potential here. Looks like it's going to try for it. Boom, look at that. All the way up to 708 so far. You're eating leftover lasagna? Sitting out? That's probably what I should have done. DB's in the minus today. See, it's just one of those days. One of those fake out breakout days. Vera Bradley is still getting held up at 7 though. So this possibly could be another fake out. If it can break 7 strong though, it could run back up to that 740 area. There it goes. Now it's starting to break. We're getting an increase in volume into this break. Sevens. Seven's acting as some resistance though. So it looks like this might be a fake out breakout too here. It's got to get over it. It's got to re-break over 7 if it's going to move. If not, it's going to come back down. Still plenty of time on this candle though. A minute and a half. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's going to break out. $685 is 685 needs to hold up. If it drops below 685, it's not going to break out right now. Three seconds, not quite getting over 7. Here it goes. Now it's starting to break. Yeah, there you go. Very nice. Now it's pushing over that 710 up to 715. It's still a little sketchy because it's moving. It's pushing. Pushing back down, but you want to see 7 start holding that support. But it's looking pretty decent now. See, it hit 715. There's actually not any resistance between this right now and 770 besides the resistance right here at 730. If it's the break over 730 on this kind of U-shaped break here on the next couple of candles, it's got room all the way up to 770. Still getting held up at $7 though. 7's still not able to hold a support, so still sketchy. These upper shadows are kind of ugly. I don't know which way this is gonna go. It may have to make a handle. It may try to be a cup and handle pattern. So it probably consolidate. Let's see where we at here. Probably. See, where's pre-market highs at 678. It's actually cracking that now. But you'd want the bottom of this handle, if this is going to be a handle, you'd want it to be right at that you want 678 to hold and be the bottom of it, and then you want to see it curl back up. ADTX still slowly creeping. So, good morning, Bradley. We'll give the stream, about 10 more minutes here, 10-15 more minutes. If you got any more questions, suggestions, or ideas, go ahead and get those in. It should be. I think we'll be doing a Trader Saloon live stream today, later today around 6. There's a couple of things I want to look at and talk about. I think we'll put together a little pot stock watch list and then look for low floats with good chart patterns for a watch list. Nothing's too good right now. It's pretty ugly in the small cap world. Let's check and see what everything else looks like. Majority of the market's green. Got Apple red, Tesla red, Netflix red. But everything else looking pretty green. But small caps not doing too well today again. Yeah, I don't think too mmany people did okay today. There's a lot of fake out breakouts. I got on that 3 times. I got faked out on BRQS. I got faked out on VUZI. And then I got faked out on SINC, which kind of was a fake out, kind of not, because I got in before it started consolidating up here. But had a nice flag, and then the fat flag cracked. So I mean, yeah, it's still a fake out breakout too. SDC. So, what is Smile Direct Club? Huh. Kind of went straight up there. Kodak had a fake out today. Let's look at Kodak and see what it did. Kodak slowly climbing up. You actually got a bit of a cup and handle almost on this. If it breaks over here. Let's see, 741 is some resistance. But the better entry would have been right here on this downtrend break. Because if he was to get in right now, and this ends up being a fake out breakout, you're gonna be losing. Ooh, big seller at 735. So yeah, this may be a. Kind of an ugly. I don't know if I call this a cup and handle. It's more of a triangle. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, Kodak's Pump and Dump King. Yeah, it'll be like that probably for a while because that massive rip it went on. I'm sure there's chat rooms trying to push it up and stuff. So ANTX hasn't sold off yet, but there's like no volume on it at the moment. Yeah, I don't see anything. Yeah, it probably is insiders on Kodak for sure. I don't see much else. So maybe Vera Bradley because it has pretty strong volume, and it is coming close to that, close to a breakout. But will it break out or not? That's the thing. Um, reverse splits. No, it is trying to test $7 right now. Reverse splits are tricky because the float gets a lot lower. So I don't know what this 10 for 1. Yeah, so this split is probably made this stock extremely low float. Like extremely low float. So while it does look like it's trying to get some attention and possibly could break 7 here, you have to keep in mind as low as float as this is, it can drop very, very fast. And sometimes reverse splits will get runs on the day that they actually split. But like Bradley said, it's not really ever a good thing. It's not really a reason to trade a stock because it had a reverse stock split. And you can see the spread right now is insane. There's like a 20-30 cent spread between the bid and the ask. So if it does move and like it's very, very hard to play these. And there's not a ton of volume on it either. That's another thing. Let me see on the... No, they're just not the best setups. Yeah, it's only at 230,000 in volume, so like one shorter comes in, and that's another point too. With the price being going up so high, if shorters take control of this, they can drop it pretty hard, which is normally the case. Normally, shorters drop these reverse splits. This one is a little odd because it did start popping up. Yeah, exactly. So, yeah. It's hard to trade them. I'm just looking at it, and it's like maybe you could have predicted possibly that this was going to break here. If this downtrend broke to get in, because there was like $1.60 that could have possibly been made, but I mean, with no volume, I mean, there's no volume right through here. So why would you even want to take this trade? It's just not a good. It's just not really a good thing to trade. If they reverse splits, trying to trade those feel like gambles to me. It feels too gambly. It's not a very high probability trade. Well, alright guys, I think I'm going to call it a day. We will be back tomorrow for some more live trading, but I'll be back this evening for the Trader Saloon live stream. So if you get the chance to join that, it's just going to be laid back talking about stocks and looking for stocks and all that good stuff. Yeah, 6 p.m. Central will probably be the time. Most likely. I'm aiming for 6 p.m. So we'll try to make it happen. But yeah, if you don't join us later on the day, then have a great rest of your day. Stay safe out there. Until next time.